Headphone jack, check. Micro SD expansion, and 256 gigs of internal storage, check. Big screen, decent battery size, check and check. I'm Rio Gion and welcome to the channel. This phone is rocking the Snapdragon 750G chipset with the Adreno 619, which is okay. It's still getting schooled by the Snapdragon 845, which is becoming the benchmark for these mid-range budget phones to beat because of the Odin. For those that want a phone for an emulation device like me, when looking at the comparison site, the thing that worries me the most is the gaming performance because it's a 33 while the 845 scores a 47. So I think that's a pretty big gap, and it makes me question the type of emulators this chip can handle. It's great that it comes with a 256 gigs of internal storage plus micro SD expansion, but none of that means anything if it can't handle the games you want to play. For me, in terms of phones as emulation devices, I really want something that can handle PS2 and GameCube fairly decently. I do understand it's also up to the emulator app itself because we've seen the various versions of Dolphin and how most people have two Dolphin app at once for the sake of certain games running better on the Play Store app and other games run better on the MMJR2. At least from the time of me making video. Hopefully in the future we won't have to do as much tweaking when it comes to Dolphin, but of course I understand that the team is hard at work to make it as good as it gets. For the PS2, I'm really happy with the Acer XX2. Well, I'd be more happy if it had cheat support, so hopefully that's something that's coming in the near future. There's the emulation video for those 750G and those that are curious about what games that it can or cannot handle. The TLDR is that it's pretty good for the most part, so I'm not as worried if I were to get this phone as an emulation device. Going back to the phone, it also has a headphone jack, which is awesome. Based off of the box opening video that I saw, it comes with a charger and a case, which is awesome because it really gives you a nice unboxing experience. Personally, I really love these lower end phones because they give you so much value for the money, and that the phones with the higher chipsets often don't perform as well due to overheating and throttling to make the phone not overheat. So I think these lower specs phones are great for what they can do. Also, the screen is at 60 Hz, which is fine because most games are at or below that frame rate, but if you use a high refresh rate, then the screen might be trash to you. In terms of the back, I love the marine blue color. It makes the phone look really beautiful, and I like the flush camera modules. Like so many phones have camera bumps, and honestly I understand why, because the phone cameras are flush with the phone and it makes the overall package look really sleek. There are 4 cameras on the back. In terms of how useful those cameras are, I'm pretty sure there's a depth camera and a macro camera. And I was right, going back to the specs, there's both a depth and a macro camera, so honestly you're probably just getting 2 cameras that are actually useful. The main 48 megapixel and the 16 megapixel ultra wide. The other 2 cameras are 2 megapixel. On the front, it looks like another phone in the market, so there's a hole punch in the middle. That 6.67 inch screen that's kind of curved, so it's really typical with these phones to have this screen. This is the Google Assist or some kind of macro button on the left, while on the right you have the power button, volume rocker, or it could be the other way around depending on how you look at the picture versus how I look at the pictures. There's the in-display fingerprint scanner, which is optical and should be pretty fast when compared to the other in-display fingerprint scanner. I don't think it's as good as a regular scanner that's like head hardware buttons, but should be pretty good enough. There's also the IR blaster on the top of the phone, which is a feature that I really miss personally because of my secondary TV remote. Awesome feature that isn't present at all now. Like I don't think any of the newer phones have them, but if you know some that do, let me know because I would love to make a video on it. For the cameras, they seem to be okay for the most part. Like, I don't expect a great camera, and I wasn't disappointed with the performance of the camera. When I look at videos about the camera, one thing that sticks out in between the shots because there's a wait time while the phone saves the video or photo. For those that have this phone long term, comment down below and let me know if TCL did a patch to fix this issue and make the phone snap photos and videos quicker. From the vlog video that I watched, it seems like the camera will struggle sometimes, even in well lit area, which can be a problem if you're one of those people that use their phone camera for everything, which most people do. So if you care about the camera specs, then the phone is going to disappoint. If you really want a photo phone, good camera for both videos and photos, I still think your best bet is the iPhone because they do make a really good camera for videos and photo. But there's the Apple tax, so if you're willing to pay the Apple tax, the more power to you. But you click on this video, so I believe you do want to save money, which is why you're thinking about this phone. And to be honest, you're posting pictures and videos on Instagram like most people, then the camera should be fine. It gets the job done, so you shouldn't worry about it that much. Oh, there's the 32 megapixel selfie that does the job for the most part. There's also bokeh video for those that are interested in vlogs using the selfie camera, which I think is a nice touch. The phone comes with a 4500 milliamp battery, which in theory can last you the whole day with a little bit extra because the screen is 1080p at 60 Hz, so it should be fine in terms of battery life. If you're an emulation gamer like me, you mainly play GameCube and PS2, then I'm gonna say like 3/4 of the day. But on really heavy use, I'm gonna say like half day before you need to charge. When you are charging, you can use the 18-watt charger that comes in the box to charge your phone, or if you want to charge your phone wirelessly, it comes with a 15-watt wireless charging, which is interesting because most phones have a really large delta between wire and wireless charging. Honestly, for the price, which is around $450 to $500, depending on when, where you buy it from, I think it's a pretty decent choice because it gives you the features that flagships just don't anymore. And for the most part, I think the phone is great long term because the things that you do have, I think most people will get the camera job done right, while the battery life should also be pretty decent as well. If it was my money, I'd probably swing for something like the Moto G100 for a similar price, just because it has a faster chipset and should be better for gaming for those that want to support me at no extra cost to you. I have the links for those things that I talk about down below in the description box if you want to check them out. If you're new, click subscribe, the bell, thumbs up for more comment. You guys stay awesome.